Thank you so much for tuning into this Refuel devotional as we go through this Advent season. Today, I want to talk to you about someone from the Christmas story who may be unfamiliar to you, but I believe we can relate to most. And his name is Zechariah. Zechariah was a priest at the time, and he and his wife Elizabeth were unfortunately barren. This meant that they were without child. In this society and during this time, this was a difficult thing for families because children were seen as a way that your legacy could continue. Zechariah worked for the Lord as a priest. He did all that he could for God, but yet and still he had this one area of his life where he experienced a great disappointment. The truth of reality is this, that all of us can feel like we are in tune with God, that we're doing exactly what God asks of us, but yet and still not being able to produce the thing that we want most. Perhaps it's a child. Maybe for others, it's a job. For someone else, maybe it's a dream that you've had for years, but it has not come to pass. These moments where we go through these times of barrenness and difficulty can make us turn our backs on God. But what Elizabeth and Zechariah teach us is to stay close to God regardless of what may be happening in your life. Certainly for years they had been praying for her womb to open, praying for them to experience the beautifulness of a family, but yet and still that dream was not coming to pass. Zechariah had faith to pray for others, perhaps even had more faith that others would experience success because of the result of his prayers, but his faith began to fade because he had not seen the promised child that he had always hoped for. As he grew older in age, it seemed as if all hope was lost, but one day arrives on the scene an angel by the name of Gabriel with some wonderful news for Zechariah. This angel tells Zechariah, you and your wife are going to have a child. And what is Zechariah's response? How can this be? He doubted the voice of an angel that had come directly from God to tell him that his promise was on the way. And as a result of his disbelief, God punishes him. And for 9 months, while his wife is pregnant, Zechariah is not able to utter one single word. He can't talk to anyone. Email isn't around. No text messages. No words from Zechariah for 9 straight months. The promise has come into his life, and he can't even communicate to his wife what it would be like when they have a child show up. Then one day, Elizabeth births this baby, and Zechariah is asked, what should they call the baby? Still unable to speak, he writes down, his name will be called John. Then in Luke chapter 1, verse 67 through 80, he gives us what is known as the Benedictus. He gives praise to God. This morning, I want to challenge you to read Luke chapter 1, verse 67 through 80 to hear the beautiful words that Zechariah has to say about God. Read these words and read them from a man's perspective that has not been able to talk for 9 months. It's amazing that when he wasn't able to speak for 9 months, he was able to spend time and appreciate who God was despite the punishment he was experiencing. The words that he utters are words that we can still read today. They have so much power and so much influence that even in the midst of his punishment, he spoke praise to God. My challenge for you this morning is this, that when you go through a difficult season in your life, when God is ready to deliver, don't give up hope, but begin to believe that God can still work in your life. Zechariah shows us and teaches us at the moments we least expect, hope is on the rise and the Savior of the world would be born. God has put something in you that you're ready to give up on. Continue to trust him and believe that he can deliver. This Christmas season, give your praise to God, knowing that he's able to do beyond what you could ask or think.